I'm going to turn on the music, and I'd appreciate your feedback as to whether it sounds, turn on the music and keep talking. It definitely sounds too loud for me. Let me try turning it down to start with. If I keep it at that level, are you able to hear the music while I talk my words?
Background music looks nice and I can hear you.
Cool. Perfect. Thank you, sir. I'm going to pause it for now so I can start it later. And people are popping in. Yay! People. Welcome, everybody. Oh, I'm already starting to see some people I recognize. So good to see you. Hi, Verna, Janice. Is that Wilsey? Nice, cute name. Colleen, hi. And Diane, Karen. Oh, I see Diane Burke. I know Diane Burke. Hi, Chris.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, sweetheart. I know her well enough to call her sweetheart. Karen and Joan and Jen and Tagar. Is it Tagar or Tager? You're going to tell me it's Kelly, aren't you? Well, I'll keep trying. I'm Ty. Thank you for coming today. My co-host is Max. Now, you're going to see Max in one of the boxes because Max is busy working. He's my teaching assistant, and he's here to help you with anything technical during the class. So like if you're having any problem with your iPad or your phone or your computer dealing with this class, please message Max, and he'll do what he can to help you. Or any general questions. If you have a question for me, you can message Max, and he'll do his best to get my attention. So with that being said, we move some things around. And as I said, my name is Ty. I'm the one to help you through this session today. I know some of you were in my my intro last week, why Tai Chi is great for seniors. So I'm so glad you decided to come back. Let me get my slides up, and we'll get this show on the road. Okay. Okay, welcome to Tai Chi. I call it easy Tai Chi because this form of Tai Chi is easy, gentle, rewarding. It's pretty much everything. It's a great package. This is a beginner sequence. There's multiple beginner sequences, but this is one that I really like. I think it's perfect for us seniors. My name is Ty. As I said, I live in Florida, just outside of Orlando, Florida. My education is in biology, psychology, and computer science because I was a very confused young man and didn't know what I wanted to study. I eventually went into several different data processing directions, ending up eventually as a healthcare IT consultant for medical centers. As far as movement practices, my background is Kundalini Yoga. Not a lot of people in this country have heard of Kundalini Yoga, but it's great stuff. I've also trained to teach Hatha Yoga, which is what most people in this country call yoga. I also teach Tai Chi, obviously. I'm here today. And I've also been trained, and I teach something called therapeutic Qigong. And I'm here to guide you and to help you through learning a series of 6/12 Sung style Tai Chi forms. Sung is a school or a style of Tai Chi that is both gentle and easy to learn, very flowing. We don't really do any heavy stooping. It's soft knees instead. So it's great for us. And it makes it more enjoyable because you don't have to work into the physicality and study it forever to learn it. Over time, I hope that you will take what I teach you and practice it and go beyond just the mechanics I'm teaching you to accept and enjoy Tai Chi movement as a deeper meditative practice. That's my goal. That's my wish for you. We're on Get Set Up today. What a great organization. Get Set Up helps us learn skills from other people like us so that we all can do wonderful things. What a great statement. We learn from each other. Now, ideally, especially for this class, it helps if I can see you, if you have your camera on. I do understand if you don't have it on. I've taken classes where I turned it off too. But if you're at least somewhat comfortable turning it on, please do so I can see how you're taking to the practice and where I need to guide the practice. Now, after the class, you're going to have the option to get a recording of this class. All you have to do is email help@getsetup.io. That's it. You'll see the address also in the chat, thanks to Max. Now, if you're watching from live stream via the website, that's great. And it's wonderful when a class is booked. I do think this class did book up today. So if you're in because you couldn't get in with a registration, that's wonderful. But do try to register and make it into live classes when you can, because the best way to participate is to actually join us. Now, just an advice, Get Set Up is not paid to promote any specific products. I may mention something. I may say I'm using music from YouTube. I'm not promoting anything. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Now, as with any movement practice, it's assumed that you've checked with your doctor and that your doctor has given you direction about what you should and shouldn't do in a movement/exercise program. I have never met a doctor who tells people not to study gentle Tai Chi or gentle yoga. Most of them go out of their way to go, oh my goodness, yes, get into a class now, because no matter what health condition you may have, no matter what limitation that you might have, I have limitations, gentle movement helps with it. Gentle movement makes us healthier. It's therapeutic. It makes our body work better. So I have foot problems. There's times when I do my practice seated. So feel free to study with me and do the practice seated or standing, or switch back and forth as needed. But your doctor may give you some special guidance in case you're on medication, blood pressure medication especially. He might suggest you do something specific for the practice. Follow their directions. They know you better than I do. Remember, your doctor rules are #1 priority, no matter what. If you have a question about that, you can ask me, but I'm always going to say whatever the doctor said. Okay, Tai Chi, we have some objectives in class. We're going to work on developing more integration of mind and body. And we're going to use the breath and the movement to help do that. It'll bring your thinking and your moving more in sync with each other. We're going to improve balance, something I was drawn to Tai Chi for. And through that, we're going to talk about postural alignment, body awareness. And guess what? That leads to fall prevention, something I worry about. I'm getting older and I've got foot problems. I want to do everything I can to make myself able to avoid a fall, or maybe withstand one if I start to fall. Decrease the effects of stress. We're going to talk about calmness of mind and initiating the relaxation response. We live our life constantly going through stress and relaxation responses, but in our culture, we get a lot more of the stress response than we do the relaxation response. So doing your Tai Chi actually initiates the relaxation response. We're going to slow down. We're going to enjoy life more because we're going to slow down and be more in the moment. Be healthier. Isn't that a great statement? We're going to learn to be healthier because we're going to help the body to work better. Your body, gentle movement will make things like your lymph nodes move, where if you don't move, they would just stand still and cause disease. Parts of the body need to move. Tai Chi is a great way to do that. Maybe one of these things hits home with you, maybe more. Our agenda for the whole series, for this whole series of this class, is 6/12 forms. We're going to do 6 movements to the right. And then once we kind of get experience with that, I'm going to start doing 6 forms to the left. There's the 6/12. And when I've got a group that knows that really well, I'm going to add 6/12 more forms. So eventually it'll be 12/24. And we're going to have this really nice sequence that we can flow together and mix back and forth. But we'll add that on with other classes or variations of this class. For right now, we're going to focus on these 6/12. You don't need to memorize anything on that screen. I'm going to tell you repeatedly. These are the practice guidelines, and these are very important. I'm going to pick one of these every class and focus on that. So the guidelines we want to follow in Tai Chi is mindfulness, postural alignment, your body organization, how you're structured, your posture, breath awareness, become aware of what's going on with your breath, active relaxation. That right there could be a 12-hour class. Slow movement. You cannot do Tai Chi too slowly. Seriously, no matter how slow you're going, you can always slow it down a little bit more. The slower you go, the more you get out of it. Weight separation. That takes us back to that balance thing. Integrated movement, mind body. And then the mind body principles. Kind of a lot of these interrelate heavily. Today, the guideline that I'm going to focus on is breath awareness. I'm going to pick one every class. Today's is breath awareness. Natural diaphragmatic breathing patterns are maintained throughout the entire sequence. If you're students of yoga, you may have been trained in diaphragmatic breathing already. It's breathing into your belly, breathing deep instead of breathing into the chest. In chest, we only get so much air. If we breathe into the belly, we're able to pull in up to 26% more air. And I'm sorry, I was reading chat. Would you do Kundalini Yoga? I would love to teach Kundalini Yoga on this platform. Please request it. I'll propose it, and maybe we can get a class on the schedule. I would love to teach Kundalini Yoga. I'd love to teach it as chair Kundalini Yoga, whatever you prefer. So please put in a request. That's from Janice, I believe. Yeah. Please, Janice, request it. I could use your backing to help talk them into letting me start a class in Kundalini Yoga. A lot of people don't even understand how therapeutic Kundalini is because they're used to Hatha, and I would love to spread the word. Okay, back to breath. And by the way, diaphragmatic breathing is a basis for Kundalini Yoga. We really emphasize it in that, but it's big in all yoga. So during your Tai Chi today, I'd like you to repeatedly bring your awareness back to your breath, and don't worry so much about it being diaphragmatic today. Just be aware of, how is my breathing going? Am I breathing fully? Don't force it deep. Don't force it out in the practice. Just be aware of, there's the sensation of my breath moving. And is the breath moving with my physical movement? Am I inhaling up, exhaling down? And that's not mandatory, but that to me just seems to go in sync with it. So I like to breathe when I'm lifting and exhale when I'm relaxing. But be aware of how you're breathing. Surprisingly, many people get concentrating, get really in focus, and hold their breath. We all do it, especially if we're in a tight situation. During your Tai Chi practice, don't hold your breath. That's one thing with the breath awareness. Be aware that you're breathing. If you're so focused on what I'm telling you to do that you stop breathing, see if you can notice. It's not wrong. It's just see if you can notice and tell yourself, nope, breathe. That's all these principles are about, are starting to notice things and make some changes in how you're doing it or how you're thinking. Tai Chi trains breath awareness with movement. And you're going to hear me talk a lot about breathing and moving in every class. So I think that's a good introduction for today. If you want more details about Tai Chi, come to my Tai Chi, Why It's Great for Seniors. I'm going to give you a little bit of a history and give you some lessons on the concepts. But today we actually want to do some moving. So for your practice today, be seated, be standing, or stand with a chair handy for support, whichever serves you best. I actually have, like I mentioned 3 times, I think already, I have foot problems. Sometimes I will practice with a chair near me, especially some more vigorous than what we're doing today, just to grab my balance as needed. If you need that, have a chair handy. Make sure it's not on rollers. Make sure it's sturdy. Wear loose-fitting clothes. If you didn't today, that's fine. It's just that if your shirt is tight or your blouse is tight, it restricts as you raise your arms. And all of a sudden, you start becoming more conscious of the clothes than your movement. So you want to make sure you're wearing loose-fitting clothes. I recommend indoor shoes. And by that, I mean clean. I like to have on clean shoes when I'm practicing in my house or in a studio. There are actually Tai Chi shoes. Very inexpensive. They're like 12 bucks on eBay. Not eBay. Well, I'm sure they're on eBay. I got these on Amazon. They look like they're flimsy, but I've had these 8 years and they're still going strong. One nice thing about having special shoes for your practice is when you put them on psychologically, you just kind of triggered that I'm in my practice now. The other psychological trigger is I love to put on soft music. So, with that being said, and the fact I mentioned soft music, let me get some music playing. I'm just going to talk for a minute, and I want you guys to listen and tell me if the music is too loud. Are you able to hear me okay over the music? Perfect. I see some heads shaking. Wonderful. I'm going to spotlight me so I'm front and center for you. Oh, I got a bunch of you on screen now. I want a show of hands. Who's done Tai Chi before? Oh, man, half the class. So, well, I'm honored you're coming and trying my Tai Chi. Thank you. In the session last night for the intro, someone mentioned that her friend should demo her Tai Chi. And her friend got embarrassed. She goes, oh my goodness, I'm not going to get up and demo my Tai Chi. But it made me think, if we get enough people interested who enjoy their Tai Chi, maybe we should start a once a month interest Tai Chi session like they have on Get Up, where a bunch of us just get together and talk about our practice, how it's going, what challenges, what fun we've had, how many different types of Tai Chi have we studied. So that's a thought. I like that the thought came up last night. So we may do something like that so that you can tell me about your Tai Chi practice outside mine, because not everybody takes Sung style. Looking for me. There I am. Okay, cool. So come standing or seated. I don't care. There's very few rules. I only have one big rule in Tai Chi. Don't do anything off balance or dangerous. And to me, if you're off balance, you are dangerous. So as long as you're in balance and being safe, your practice is perfect. That's it. Pretty simple rule. Everything else is really flexible. We're going to start with something that's called Wuji. W-U-J-I. Wuji. Now, I've got to turn down the music. I'm finding it too loud. 1 second. I like soft music, but I don't want to be overpowered. Okay. Wuji is the universal posture. It's our beginning posture. It's our relaxation posture. And the way you do that is you bring your heels under your hips, standing straight and tall. Your shoulders are basically over your hips. Your toes can be pointed straight forward unless you have hips like mine, and then you want to turn the toes out a little bit because straight forward seems to put a strain on my hips. It's just the way my pelvis is made. Maybe yours is made the same way and you want to turn your toes out a little bit. Shoulders over hips, head stretched to the sky. This is your chance to really stand up tall, fight gravity, and then tuck your chin just a little. It's just a slight tuck, not a big tuck, a slight tuck. Now, you're going to rotate your pelvis by dropping your tailbone maybe a half an inch. And when you do that, pelvis rotates and straightens your lower back a little bit. So it's tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, soften the knees. This is the important part. Allow your knees to be a little spongy. Beautiful. Your hands just sort of fall forward. They're not really at your side. They're a little forward, kind of just in a relaxed position. If you feel like you need a little more space, separate your feet a little bit. That's acceptable too. Now, this is your universal posture. This is a relaxation posture. This is a meditation posture. posture. You can meditate in this posture, and maybe we will sometime. So find your Wuji, heels under hips reasonably, shoulders over hips, stretched backbone, tuck chin, tuck tailbone, relax the arms. And remember, breath awareness, breathe. Let your belly slowly expand, but not to the extreme. And then exhale and let it float back. Nothing extreme. You may notice that on the inhale, your body kind of expands and maybe the shoulders lift a little bit. That's normal. And then when you exhale, just allow that to relax. Let the shoulders kind of drift down. Let the knees get a little soft. This is the Zen part of Tai Chi, I think. So anytime I say find your Wuji, this is Wuji. And we will always use that as a starting point. So find your Wuji. The first moving form we're going to do is called commencement. It's called commencement because it's the first one. So it leads into our practice. To do commencement, you rotate the shoulders by raising the hands and the arms. The palms kind of face each other in this, and then they come down. Just rotate back down. So rotate up, rotate down. Beautiful. I like to inhale up and exhale down with that breath awareness. You don't have to follow my breathing pattern, but I'm going to share it with you in case you like it or you just share the same sensations of breathing that I enjoy so much. But when I raise my arms, I just feel like inhaling. And when I relax my arms, I'm in that relaxed mode, and I love to exhale because exhalations are the perfect time to relax. The elbows are soft. The wrists are soft. Even the knuckles are soft. I'm not stretching my hands. It's just like soft, like I'm holding a ball. That's it. And this is where, even in this first commencement form, you allow yourself to start feeling the sensations of movement. It's not just the mechanics of, gee, I'm raising my arm. It's, what does that feel like in my shoulders? How does my chest feel as my arms are going up and down? Is there a rhythm in sync between my breath in my belly and my arms? Now let's add on to the commencement form. We're going to do this in detail today because pretty much everybody's new or you've only been in one other class with me. So we're going to really detail commencement form. As I get more trained people, we'll go through it a little quicker so we can get into some other forms. But for commencement, after you raise your arms, inhale and exhale. You're basically pulling your hands toward your belly button at this point. Don't let them go all the way down to the thighs. Pull them into the belly button and then bring them up the chest. If you notice, your hands just drew the letter U. As the hands came down and then toward the belly button and then up the chest. That's drawing the letter U. It's the easiest way for me to describe that, and that's the terminology I use. So let's find your Wuji. Take a little lean on your left foot and take a little lean on your right foot. Do you feel in balance? Do you feel like you're shifting that balance so that when you come back to the center, you feel more in balance? That's it. And then when you come back to center, you feel like you're right in balance in the center. You're not leaning forward too much. You're not leaning back too much. Inhale in commencement. Exhale. Draw that U. Now, when your hands are at the chest, reach your hands forward and then bring them back. Beautiful. Find your Wuji. Let's do that again. Inhale, raise your arms, just rotating at the shoulder with soft elbows, soft wrists. Draw the U. And the hands come up the chest. They reach out. And then they come back to the chest. Wonderful. It already starts feeling meditative to me, even though I have to constantly talk. Commencement, let me show you the entire commencement form because we're going to add some footwork to those arm motions. So I start with my wuji. You're welcome to just watch this time if you want. Make sure I got my soft knees when I start. Inhale, the arms come up to my shoulder, basically to my chest, not really my shoulders. They come down. As they come down, they come toward my belly button. And as they're coming up my chest, I'm bringing my weight to my right foot because I'm going to step out with my left foot. And I'm going to reach forward. And then I'm going to pull my hands back as I step forward with the other foot. So the foot is basically a step forward. You just bring the weight to the right foot, step out with the left and put the heel down, come down on the foot, and then bring the other one to join it. So we're just going to take a step forward. If you're standing, if you're seated, don't worry about this part. So in order to take the step, you bring the weight to your right foot, like we were leaning a minute ago, because that gives you free access to that left foot. And you just lift it and put the heel down. The heel is basically parallel with the toe, and then you bring the weight onto the foot. You notice as you bring the weight onto the foot, you're kind of leaning into that left knee. As you lean into the left knee, the right foot becomes free and safe to lift, and you bring it to join the left. That's just a step. Weight to the right foot, step out, heel, toe, the weight to the left foot, bring the right foot, lift it, and join the left. You take that step forward. Pretty complicated, huh? It seems complicated when you first talk about it, but once you get that mind, body going with this from a little bit of practice, you don't even think about doing this. It just happens. So find your wuji. We're going to do the whole thing this time. Soft knees. Inhale. Shoulders come up, arms come up, rotating at the shoulder. Draw your U and sink in the knees just a little bit as the hands come down. Then as the hands come up the chest, you're bringing your weight to the right foot. Going to step out with the left. As your weight comes down on that left foot and you're firm and you've got good balance, bring the hands forward and then bring them back as you step forward with the right foot to join the left. That's commencement form. Let's do it one more time and then we're going to move on to the next form. You don't have to memorize this. I'm going to go through it in every class. I'm always going to talk you through everything. The notes at the end of class, I'm going to email you. We'll give you a list of the forms, but each set of notes that I send out will always detail one form. So if you collect them, you'll end up having all the forms detailed in words and have all of them described. So each day, one form will be detailed for you. That's in hopes that you may start practicing at home, maybe 5 minutes a day. You know, if you choose not to, that's fine. Just come and practice with me. But if you choose to practice at home 5 minutes a day, you'll just build that mind-body connection faster. And that's, you really do want the mind-body connection so that you don't have to think of the mechanics. And you can really dig deeper into the moving experience, the meditative portion of it. So find your wuji. Take an inhale with me. Just breathe. Inhale into the belly. And exhale and allow your body just to settle into wuji. Sink in the knees. Commence. Rotate the shoulders. Exhale, sink in the knees as you draw your U. Weight's coming over to the right foot as the hands come up the chest. You're going to step out. As you get the weight firmly on the left foot, bring the hands forward. Step forward with the right foot and bring those hands back into chest. Wonderful. You got the first of the 12 forms. And since you've learned one form, let me say something. I advise people it's better to know one form and appreciate it without studying the mechanics, just doing the one form and digging deeper and deeper into the sensations of that form, making it more and more mindful than it is to study and learn 108, the mechanics of 108 forms and just know how to move, get through the mechanics because you're doing the mechanics. That's exercise. That's going to the gym. This is more than that. That's why it's better to know one form and dig deep into that one form than it is to memorize 108. So don't sweat memorizing all these forms. Instead, practice it and start digging a little deeper into the movement. It's the sensation, it's the mindfulness of what's going on in your body in that moment that's far more important. So the next form is called open close. I like to call it energy ball because the easiest way to teach it is to say, bring your hands up to the chest. Now, the palms are cupped, and it's as though you're holding a ball. I always like to think of maybe a volleyball because it's not a basketball, it's not a beach ball, it's a volleyball, you know? And to do the open and close, you just move the hands maybe 2 inches out and 2 inches in. That's the mechanics. Simple, just out and in. Some forms of Tai Chi call this pulsing. Now, that's the mechanics. Here's what's going on as far as sensation. Imagine that there is energy flowing from every finger. Get a good perspective. So from finger to finger, from palm to palm, from hand to hand, energy is flowing. You don't need to believe in ethereal energy, but you know what? Our body is composed of electrical energy in the nervous system, chemical energy in the biology structures of our body. We are energy. But in Tai Chi, we talk about Chi energy, which it's similar to what yoga refers to as prana. And this is energy that can't be measured. So whether you measure it or not, whether you believe in it or not, doesn't matter. All I'm asking you to do is visualize it. Pretend you believe in it. So just pretend that you see energy. Maybe there is magnetic energy flowing from hand to hand, coming from your body. So just imagine you can see it. I actually see energy going from finger to finger, from palm to palm, and I like to see it as gray or silver and sometimes green. Maybe your energy is yellow or purple or blue. And the more I envision that energy, the more it starts to swirl like a globe, rotates and swirls. And you know what? I start to feel that energy flowing over my palms. And the amazing thing is when you pulse the hands and pull them apart, you're stretching that energy. You start to feel that energy stretching and wanting to pull the hands closer together. So then when you release back, it's like taffy, pulling the hands closer together. So you're stretching your energy and releasing it. I'm sure you've played with magnets maybe as a child, how hard they are to separate, and then they draw themselves back together. This is the same. So just pulse the hands. Open and close is a very important form. We do forms in Tai Chi. We don't do asanas in yoga. We do forms. And they're all different practices from something called Qigong. If you've taken Qigong, you know it's great stuff. If you haven't, you got to take one of Ellen's classes. She's a great Qigong teacher here. Tai Chi was built from Qigong. We use that knowledge and those exercises to build on. So this is I forgot where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought. But this separates the various forms. So we're going to do one of these open and closes after commencement. So come back to your Wuji. Inhale with me. Inhale and exhale and commence. Bring the arms up. Draw your U. Soften in the knees. Bring your weight to the right foot. Step out with the left. Reach forward. Bring the other foot to join as the hands come back into the heart center. And now do your open and your close. Wonderful. Open and close is a separator. We're ready to go to the next form, which is called single whip. Let me show you single whip. I'm going to start from the energy ball, or the open and close. So I open and close. Single whip right, I bring my weight to the left foot. Once my weight is on the left foot, I turn my torso, the whole body actually, 45 degrees to the right, raise my right foot and step out that 45 degrees, heel, toe, and I get my balance, my weight well deposited on that right foot. I turn my palms away and I push an invisible energy curtain. That's my single whip. But notice how you're still in balance because you've got your weight distributed between those 2 feet. This one is a brace. You can put out your arms without going off balance. Let's do that again. Start from the energy, the open and close. So open and close. Single whip to the right. Weight comes to the left foot. Turn 45 degrees to the right. Step out with the right foot. Small step, not big step, small step. Heel, toe. Brace yourself on that right foot. Palms turn away and push. Really feel the energy you're pushing away. Like that wall of invisible energy is really struggling with you. Kind of isometric. Beautiful. Now, I want you to be very concerned about when you push the invisible wall that you're keeping good posture. It's very easy to start leaning into it, and that throws you off balance. We're all going to do it, but the more you become aware of your body, the more you catch yourself and correct yourself. You want to keep that back straight and not lean into it as we're just, prone to do. So let's come back to Wuji. Inhale with me and exhale. Bring your hands to chest center, and we're going to open. When you close, allow yourself to settle back into the body. Single whip to the right. Bring the weight to the left foot. Turn to the right and step out 45 degrees. Brace and push the energy curtain in good posture. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's bring it all together. Come back to your Wuji. Inhale and exhale. Commencement form. Rotate the arms. Draw your U. The hands come toward the belly button. As the hands come up the chest, your weight's going to the right foot and you're stepping out with the left. Find your balance. Arms come out. Bring the other foot forward and bend your elbows and bring the hands down, or bring the elbows down, bring the hands to the chest. Open and close. Single whip right. Bring your weight to the left foot. Turn 45 degrees to the right. Step out with the right foot and push the invisible curtain. Nice. Wonderful. Got a lot you can practice between classes now. Seriously, until the next time I see you, if you just want to practice energy ball or commencement, go for it. 5 minutes a day, it'll get you a great start. If you just want to practice with me, that's fine too. I've had classes where people have wanted nothing to do between classes. They just wanted to come and practice in class, and that's fine too. It's your class. So I'm going to start you on the next form. The next form gets a little complicated. Don't worry if we don't get it down pat today. But let's get ourselves to that point. Find your Wuji. Commencement. Hands come down. Draw your U. Hands come up the chest as you step out with the left foot. Reach forward. Step with the right foot. Bend elbows. Open close, single whip to the right. Your weight comes to the left foot, step out to the right 45 degrees and push the invisible curtain. Next is open the curtain. So you just take the left hand and you start rotating the torso. Keep your eyes on the back of the left hand. So the head and the neck and the torso goes with the left hand. Let's come back into open and close and do that again. So open and close, single whip to the right, turn 45 degrees to the right and step out, push your invisible curtain. Now, at this point, you're looking at the back of both your hands in nice, good posture. Open the curtain is leaving the right hand where it is and rotating the torso and your head with it, and just follow the back of your left hand. So you end up with the hands wide apart. Both palms are facing away. Your eyes and your head are pointed toward your left hand. Did you notice something in your body while you did that as far as your balance? Let's do it again and pay attention to what's going on with your balance. So let's come back to the energy ball. Open and close. Single whip to the right. Turn the torso to the right. Step out with the right foot at 45 degrees and push the invisible curtain. Now notice where your balance is. Now as you rotate the torso and watch the back of the left hand, what's happening with your balance, your center of gravity? What's happening with your center of gravity? Did you notice it shift on you? When you're in single whip and you're pushing away, your weight is on that right foot and your center of gravity is pushed toward the right foot. As you open the curtain and you're following that left hand, that center of gravity is moving to the other foot. All of a sudden, when you finish with opening the curtain, you find that your center of gravity is on your left foot. You've actually moved your center of gravity from one foot to the other. Something we take for granted, but in Tai Chi, we want to start noticing that because you want to know where your center of gravity is, where your weight is, if it's on the left foot or the right foot. This is where we start learning more control to avoid falls and being balanced. So let's come back to the Wuji. Hands ready for the energy ball, soft knees, open and close. Single whip to the right. Weight comes to the left foot. Turn 45 degrees to the right. Step out with the right foot, heel toe. Push that energy wall, or curtain, whatever you want to call it. Now open the curtain and your eyes follow the left hand while your weight shifts from the right foot to the left. So when the curtain is open and you're looking at the back of the left hand, your weight's on that left foot. One thing about Tai Chi is when we move the weight from one foot to the other, that's a darn good indication that we're going to do something with the foot we just took our weight off of, because that's the proper way to take steps. As humans, we learn to walk. It's just natural for us by sort of falling forward and stopping the fall with a foot. In Tai Chi, we're starting to relearn how safer way to walk. I'm not going to say the correct way because I don't think it is the correct way, but it's safer for us because we're paying attention to our weight and the center of gravity. And when you know where your center of gravity is, you're less likely to take a fall or take a misstep. So that's part of our awareness that's coming. So let's come back to our Wuji, energy ball, our open and close. You can see which one I prefer. I love to call it energy ball. Open and close. Single whip to the right. Weight comes to the left foot. Turn your torso 45 degrees to the right. Step out with the right foot. Push the curtain. Open the curtain. Now, the next step is to bring the right foot in. Your weight's on the left foot, so lift your right foot and bring it in to join the left. This is a fun one. You take your right hand and it just swishes down and comes close to the left elbow. That's it. Yeah, they're like this, and it just swishes down. So you kind of like, I don't want to say the letter L, but something similar. You don't want to be mechanical about it, but the right hand is somewhere near the left elbow. And that's prepping us for the next form, which is the fun one. It's called Waving Hands in the Clouds. We don't have time to get into that today. It's too complex. It's probably the most complex form we'll do in this sequence, but it's also the most fun and the most rewarding. So let's go back through what we've learned today. Find your Wuji. Inhale with me and exhale. Commence. Rotate the shoulders. Draw your U. Weight's coming to your right foot because we're going to lift that left foot and step out. Reach forward with the hands in a balanced manner. Bring the right foot to join the left. Bring the elbows down. Open. Inhale and close. Single whip to the right. Weight goes to your left foot. Step out at a 45-degree angle with the right foot and push the curtain. Push that curtain and then open the curtain, watching the back of the left hand. Now you're going to bring the right foot in to join the left and swish that right hand down. Now, I call this Sung style. One of the, icons, one of the icon moves of Sung style is the swoosh, the flowing movement of the arm. So this is very Sung style. It's also when we're starting to get into something that just feels good doing. So with that being said, I'm going to teach you one more thing and then we're going to sit down. We do have a salute. We use it at the beginning or the end of class. And I kind of segued right into class without teaching you the salute, but I really enjoy the salute. So let's end the movement portion of class today with the salute. You bring your left hand up. Let me get in the picture frame better. I'm just going to sit down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Fingers are together. You know what? That denotes friendship. I think Get Set Up promotes friendship. It brings us together from all over the world, people of different backgrounds and experiences, and we all get to come together and create a bond. So I think Tai Chi really fits right in with that. So friendship. Tuck the thumb in. That's humility. So we have friendship, we have humility. You know what else comes with Tai Chi? Strength and power. So the right hand is a fist. There's your strength and power. There is a martial arts component to Tai Chi. So strength and power really does fit in with the Tai Chi model. And the more we do with what we're learning, the stronger we'll be. But in Tai Chi, you bring friendship and humility and you cover strength and power. That controls it. That ameliorates it. It manages it. And then I love this part. You tilt the head in a small bow. And that's respect. And I think that's very appropriate too. So we have friendship, humility, strength and power, and respect. So I'll try to remember to open the class with that. I appreciate you doing that with me. I think it means a lot. So let me bring my slides back up so I could go over a couple of things at the end of class. Oh, let's see, anything in chat? Yeah, Max, I think I'm losing my head, aren't I? He says I'm not shown completely. I've got to get a better location for my camera, and I'm working on that. I actually just got a new camera yesterday, so I'll work on that and see if I can be better displayed. Because, I mean, let's face it, it's all about me, right? That was a joke. I'm not a great comedian. Let's see. I can't find my slide deck. Yeah, here we are. You should be able to see my slide deck now. I hope you can. Manipulating all these screens takes longer than it should, but it is what it is. Okay. Let's do a summary. Tai Chi is slow. It is mindful. It's movement. You have to practice it to get the results. That's the catch. It's one of those things that you can study it all you want to. You can see me do it all you want to. Won't do a bit of good unless you do it. So in class, I'm going to teach you the forms. And to be honest, I consider the speed I go in class a little fast. So I want you to learn the mechanics from me. I want you to learn the principles and the guidelines. But then I hopefully between classes, you'll spend 5 minutes a day and start repeating what you've learned until you start building that mind-body linkage there to where you don't have to memorize the
I
pay
have a
attention to the.
question.
Oh, please. I can't tell who's speaking from the display, but go ahead, speak up.
Okay, I wasn't quite sure whether or not you were breathing in or out when you were doing the exercise before. I mean, I remember you saying that you should breathe out when you come down, when your hands come down. But then I'm not sure if I continue on breathing or exhaling, and I got lost.
No problem. No problem. I'm going to always tell you what I'm doing with the breath.
Okay.
You know what, Mary? You breathe where it works for you and your movement.
Okay.
My rule or my request is that you just stay breathing.
Okay.
For example, if I don't know if you can see me here, but if I breathe in and breathe out, maybe you're a slow breather. Maybe this is an in and this is your out. Go for it. Just breathe. But I will tell you, my breathing is based on my logic of when I'm doing something that's rather expansive of my chest and belly, I like to breathe in. When I'm releasing, when the arms are coming down, when I'm sinking in the knees, that tends to be when I like to exhale because to me that relaxes my whole body.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking. And like I say, take my breath pattern as my breath pattern, and maybe you want to adopt it. Maybe you've got a different breath. Maybe you breathe faster or slower than I do. You know, and maybe as your practice grows and you move more slowly, maybe you will need to adjust your breathing pattern with a slower movement. So, thank you for asking, though. Don't worry about doing a heavy practice. That's not what this is about. If you can do 5 minutes a day, that's wonderful. It's more important to do 5 minutes a day than to just not do the practice or go say, oh, gee, I'm going to practice for an hour on Sundays. Don't do that. 3 minutes a day is better than an hour on Saturdays. I recommend putting music on. I don't care what kind of music, just soft. Something. I mean, maybe you like to do it to heavy metal. I don't question that. But for me, it needs to be soft. Something classical, or I like Asian music for this, or even nature sounds. Go to YouTube and find nature sounds and play it while you're practicing. Psychologically, it really plays a factor in what you're doing. And this is all about changing how we think and do things. That comes to mindfulness again. So, do what you can to help yourself fit into the model of where you want to go with this. Let's see. I like Tai Chi as a metaphor for life. We want to embrace our challenges in Tai Chi and in life. We want to slow down, maintain focus, and take slow, deep breaths. That to me is my goals for life. Thank you for coming today. I really enjoy these classes, and I'm so glad you guys come and get involved. And I hope that you'll come to more classes. The beginners class will stay the 612 until it becomes 1224, and then I hope eventually, if not sooner, to add a second series called Tai Chi Shibashi, which is done a little bit differently. It's not Sung style. It's 18 forms that you basically do for therapeutic reasons. They're great done every day, like in the morning, just to get us moving and get our blood flowing. It's not energetic. It's very slow and graceful, actually very relaxing to do. So I'm hoping to add that to the repertoire eventually. If you are having good experiences on Get Set Up, we love to hear about them. You can post them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Or if you like, just email them to Liz. Liz at getsetup.io. Loves to hear your stories, and she will post them on social media. Some related classes are morning fitness. Stacy does a great morning fitness class. I think it's gentle but moving. I take it on occasion. I can't think of the lady's name. It's skipping right now. The slow flow yoga, but slow flow yoga is kind of down the same direction as this. It takes yoga poses and puts them into a flow sequence. And basically, that's what we've done in Tai Chi. We've taken Qigong and put it into a flow sequence. So try those out. I highly recommend them. And my next class, I'll be teaching, I think, Tai Chi for beginners 2 more times or 3 times next week. And then hopefully we'll get Shibashi on the schedule soon. After class, I'm going to email you. Just once, I promise. I'll send you one email because of the class, sending you the class notes. And it'll give you the highlights of what we did. And it'll give you the detailed words of one of the forms. Probably
Good.
today I'll pick up, I heard it good there. I don't want to detail all of them in every email message. So each class notes, I will detail one of them. And if you collect them, you'll eventually have all the forms. And it'll help you. It'll help trigger your mind when you're practicing. And if you think you're doing something wrong, if you didn't understand something I said, or like I see Verna wanting me to repeat the hand movement, I'll be glad to do that in a minute, Verna. Don't worry about it. The mechanics are what's the word? They're accepting. You don't have to be perfect in the mechanics. The point is to move in these directions and these forms and build up that mind-body connection and make it mindful, rather meditative. Even if you do something wrong that you think is wrong, if you're in balance, if you're not doing something unsafe, you're doing good Tai Chi. So I'm giving you the basic gentle structure concept, and then if you need to adapt it, you adapt it. Don't get too tied up on the mechanics. Just use them as guidelines. In the class notes will be some other classes that might be of interest, but these are going to have links. So if you see something in the notes where I've got a link in there and you go, gee, I'd really like to take that, just click on it. It's going to take you right into the schedule, and you'll be able to book it right there. More important, please give feedback. There's going to be a button here. It's a big orange button right there. It says give feedback. And then once you do that, you get this little square thing pop up, and you can give 1 to 5 stars, and you can add comments. So for the session and for the guide, give your comments. Especially if you give a low rating or a high rating, comments are extremely appreciated. It starts off at 4, but your words matter because these are reviewed, and quality is a big deal with us. If, like Max said, my head was getting cut off. If that's a real problem in this class, point out in the comments that, I need to see his head because it's more important. Tell me I'm doing something wrong. I appreciate the high stars with the comments, though, if you can. And maybe that would go under how we can improve. He needs a better camera that shows his head. Maybe that would be better for something like that. But share your opinions. We want to hear them. And spread the word about learning with Get Set Up. We're growing as a community, growing quickly. A lot of that is by word of mouth. And you know what? You could come host an interest group. You could get involved. Maybe you love, schnauzers or poodles. You want to come host an interest group, pull people together to talk about their poodles? Give it some thought. Or maybe you like to talk about soups or painting or your favorite TV show. Maybe you're a Law and Order and you would love to have a discussion group about Law and Order. Propose it. And if you want another class, propose it. If you'd like, somebody mentioned earlier about Kundalini Yoga, propose Kundalini Yoga. Tell them I mentioned it and that I'm a teacher and that you'd like to, if you want it in a chair or if you wanted it chair or and mat, say so. And we partner with organizations such as assisted care, senior living, government, and community organizations. If you're associated to one of those, please contact us and tell us so that we can reach out to them and see if they'd like to partner with us. Oh, thank you, CJ. I'm glad to be here with you too.
Can you say again what you called it in the beginning? Woo something. Find your woo.
Wooji. Isn't that a
Wooji.
cute word? Wooji.
Yeah.
Spelled here. Tell you what. I'm gonna put it in the chat because I have a southern accent. Sometimes it doesn't sound the way it's supposed to. So, Wooji. Isn't that cute? Oh, wait a minute. I think I just went out to Max. Hang on a minute. I just shared that with Max. Give me just a minute. I'll give it to everybody. I'm sure Max wanted to know it too, though. Wooji. There it is. It's the
Okay.
universal posture or Wuji, and Wuji sounds a lot cuter than universal posture. It takes a lot fewer syllables. Okay, if you want a recording from today of the class, just email help@getsetup.o, and they'll take care of it. Any more questions before we cut loose for the day?
No, thank you. We'll
Thank
be back
you.
tomorrow.
Come back often. Like I said, I think I have 3 or 4 sessions next week. Come join a couple of them, all of them if you can. Love to see
We'll
you.
be
The
there.
more you do it, the more you get out of it.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Be safe.
Okay.
Take care of yourself
Thanks,
so you can
Ty.
take care of others.
Yeah, thank
job,
you. Super
Thank
enjoyed
you.
this.
Thanks, Ty.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Max.
And Max.
Yeah, I couldn't do it without Max.
Okay.
You guys have a great weekend.
Yeah.
No, it's not weekend. Have a great week.
Yes, we'll
I was
see
thinking
you
it was
soon.
Friday.
See you soon. Thank you very much for your class.
Thank you.